Welcome back to the PTU podcast. I am here with Savannah, who's our head of marketing. She has built herself over a 300 patient census for mobile Medicare Part B, and we look forward to having her on and talking with her more today.
Great. Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to it too. We've got a great topic today, and I think it's one that everyone can resonate with. How do you build your referral army just from having one single patient?
Correct. That's what we want to really dive into today. Our biggest lever to pull is always the patients that you are treating. They are your songbirds. They are the people who are going into these providers' offices, neighborhoods, community events. They are the ones who are going to be singing your praises. And it all starts with them getting the word out there for you to help drive more patients for your practice. All right, Savannah, where do you want to take this to start?
So, the piece I'm going to talk about is actually more along the lines of a story that had happened to me when I was marketing. And I think this is a story that just about everybody can resonate because you've got at least one patient. So, to bring things full circle, I had one patient. This is a brand new patient from a brand new referring office that we were treating at my practice. And the patient had gone into the office and told them that they had one, exceptional care, two, they're doing so much better than they actually thought they were going to be doing, and just really hit the ball home. And the funny part is, we didn't even tell the patient, hey, go tell your doctors. This is how much the doctors are going to be asking, especially when they send to someone new. Hey, how's that therapy going? They're reviewing the chart from the prior visit and then coming back in and really kind of tapping into some of the resources that they provided to the patient. So I kid you not, the next time that I walk into the office, the provider was walking behind the desk. I didn't even ask to talk to her, but I'm sure she was looking and scanned the waiting room and saw me with my name tag and was like, "Oh, Savannah, I actually just had that patient come in and say that they had a really good care. Way to go." And so she's like, "Do you have any cards?" And so it literally presented me with the opportunity to give her the cards. It was a perfect place, perfect time. But what I really want to share about this happening is that those patients are doing that just about every single time they go back to their doctor. They're going to be sharing whether it's good news or bad news. Obviously, with PTT, they're going to be sharing good news because how can you really go wrong with the kind of care you're providing for your patients? And they're going to be sharing all the wins. They came to me on time all the time. They came up with really unique things to be doing in my house. They had me walking outside. They had me doing this and that. And so when you're going back into the office to share the good news, that's the kind of news that providers want to hear. They're being inundated with all sorts of things, typically problems all day long. So when you come in and you want to share good news, that's a way for you to also signal to the provider that you have an opportunity to talk to them. So it gets you kind of past the person that's at the desk, gets you immediately in front of the provider so you can share that good news. And oftentimes they're going to say, "Oh, thanks so much for sharing that." Or, "Yes, the patient told me that. Thanks so much. I forgot which company they were using." So it just gives you another way to connect what patient you're treating and your company name and synergizing that so they can find like-minded or like like-bodied patients
Yeah.
that require your care as well.
And I think another important thing to note too is that a lot of our relationships may just be with the patient, meaning you knew them from community outreach or they were word of mouth referral to you for someone. So maybe you don't even have that connection yet with the doctor, per se. So then that patient comes to you, you see them, then they go see their doctor. That may be the first time the doctor is hearing about you. They may have signed the order, but they're not familiar with your therapy group yet. So now that patient's going in there and telling the doctor, "Oh my gosh, this is the best therapist I've ever had. They're always on time. They do really good work with me, XYZ." So that referral, like I said, may have just been generated from word of mouth, but now that's the opportunity for that patient to go into the doctor's office, sing your praises, and then that doctor's like, "Huh, they come to your house? Really? Okay, they're with you for a full hour. Awesome." You're seeing one therapist, all those things that the patient can then arm and tell the doctor that could then drive in more referrals for you. So whether it is, that doctor just sent you the referral for the first time and they're testing you out and that patient's going back and then singing your praises, or that doctor does not know who you are, but then the patient's going in there the first time and telling them about you, doesn't matter. And that's why we always want to deliver above and beyond patient care, because that's always the starting point to then go out. Quick thing too is whenever you're with your patients, always be asking them, when's your next doctor's visit? When are you going to see the provider? That way you can, sprinkle in a little, arm them on what to say and say, hey, if you really like, what we're doing together, please. It really helps me out if you tell this person about us. I'm big in the community. I want to be able to help our patients just like you and have that conversation, whether it's giving them a business card, giving them the brochure for the clinic. whatever it is, arm those patients so then they can then go into said doctor's office and then promote you. Because that's what we need at the end of the day is people to promote you and your practice.
Absolutely. And you just made me think too, especially for the patients that are going from part A to part B services, and especially for the therapists. Obviously, our therapists are not marketing their home care services, they're marketing their part B services. This is a perfect way for you to build that synergy and that connection with the office because, again, they were familiar with sending to a home health agency and not this beautiful bridge that they have beyond that. Once other patients, too, that they have are discharged, but may not be ready or want to go into the clinic. So, it's just building this whole avenue of referrals if you can just stay consistent in making sure that you hit that office pretty much right after that patient's visit or within the same week is really ideal. It's a perfect hook, line, sinker.
And don't be afraid, and this is where all every therapist, don't be afraid to self-promote. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask the patient, "Hey, I've been providing great patient care for you. Please, can you do this for me?" Just tell them you've had a really good experience. If that's true, obviously, like you need to be actually providing great patient care. But if that's the case, that patient should be like, "Oh my gosh, of course, I will tell my doctor about you. You're the best." And that's where, like I said, you have to ask. You can't always count on it. That's why I say inquire about when the next doctor's visit is so you can then nudge them and remind them, hey, this would be really awesome if you could tell them about our services. Like I said, if that patient didn't already get referred to you by that provider, whether it's, like I said, that patient going out in the community and then telling the friends, or whether it's them going back into the doctor's office and telling that provider, use those patients as your main bridge to help spread the word about you and really drive more referrals for your practice. Awesome. Thank you, Savannah, for hopping on for a quick one here. All right. Hope if you found this helpful, please follow the channel. You can follow our Facebook group or our Instagram page too, link down below. Have a good one, everyone.
More to come.